Communication so real, no cap. A different language for woman and man. Decode the language and you'll understand. Nah, it'll help you out. Rest assured, women have no doubt. Pillow talk, dinner talk. Give you the info to walk the walk. Now, sometimes it's a foreign language. Now know what's up. Don't mistake it. This'll help you every situation. Empower yourself. It's liberating, yeah. Communication, don't need no speculation. Just get that clarification, then reconciliation. Man translation, yeah. Man translation, yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back, you guys. It is another Sunday. Welcome to the Man Translation Show, where we talk about relationships and bridging the gap between men and women, because men and women do not think the same. Even your son, your male, your young son does not think, your uncle, okay, does not think the same way that you do. And it causes such a divide in relationships because we don't want to take the time to try to understand how we communicate. And the reason why I really do this show is because I've had some significant relationships that have broken down in communication just as a result of people just not even having the attention span to sit down long enough just to have a conversation, because you know that it all starts with a conversation. And so I'm Sky C, and this is Dante V. He is my son, who is also also the relationship communication strategist, which is really a miraculous thing because he was like the least of my children that would communicate. He is considered the middle child, and so he always felt invisible. And you know, we always talk about in dysfunctional families, you have the golden child, the middle child, and you have the scapegoat. And so we all have that dynamic. If we come from a dysfunctional family, which most of us do, we all have that dynamic. We had one young lady come on the show and she shared with us how she was the golden child and the scapegoat child. Yes, all wrapped up in one. And so for Dante to come on, it is really an awesome thing because he just was really quiet, and you couldn't really get him to talk, really couldn't get him to communicate. And I guess because for me as his mom, growing up having such a strong personality, being so straightforward, straight up, no chaser, no cut card, this, as my grandmother would say, just cut you to the quick. I guess that was intimidating for him, and it's intimidating for a lot of people. A lot of people tell me that I'm not approachable, and I tell them I'm not supposed to be. But anyway, when it comes to your children and your adult children, you want to be approachable. So it is an awesome thing to have Dante here, to share his experiences, to share his intelligence.
Thank you. It's
He has
good to
his
be
hair platted this week. What's going on? What's going on?
here. What's going on this week?
So we're going to be talking about social media's effect on relationships, because I don't really believe that people realize that technology is a good thing to drive us, forward faster, and it's more convenient. But when it comes to relationships, social media is not so social.
Nope. I don't know. I think I don't know. I've always been an advocate of, if you're in a relationship, let that be between you and that person. Let it be, build it up. So when you do decide to take it to the mainstream platform, and I'm in a relationship, like, it's strong enough to withstand the BS that's gonna come, because people don't want to see you happy.
I believe in finding out the purpose of a thing. I believe in finding out the purpose of
Mhm.
something and then using it for that purpose. And I think that people don't realize that social media was kind of started as a dating as a dating
It did.
app, right? in college, and then it kind of morphed into, how to reach out to long distance relatives you haven't
Uh-huh.
seen. And then, like all entrepreneurs, there's a cry for a different thing. And it just kind of changed into this other thing that I don't think people really realize the effect of, to the point that we don't know how to talk to each other face to face.
No, no, we do
If
not.
you go outside in the daytime and you walk around, nobody's saying hi, how you doing, hello. Everybody has their head down in their phone.
Even that, I think. I mean, the stigma, the stereotype is true. Like the further up north you get, around that Philly, Jersey, New York area, like even if you are that friendly, people not responding back. It's like, what the hell you happy for?
Because you're interacting with a computer. You're
Yeah.
constantly interacting with an inanimate object. So when you're constantly interacting with an inanimate object, it destroys your social skills. It destroys your interpersonal skills. And it also affects your attention span. Like people do not have, they have no patience. Get in your car and start driving, and you will see people don't have any patience. Oh my goodness. So I don't
Yeah.
think that, I think the technology of it is great for the convenience of it, but as far as relationships, I think that it's destroying
Oh,
relationships.
absolutely,
Talk about it,
absolutely.
Dante.
No, because again, people want to see you happy, and then they'll pick apart. I've literally seen people in relationships, and they're happy, everything is good. They take it to mainstream, and then someone's inbox is getting imploded. Well, girl, he tried to talk to me last week, and which wasn't true. But now she feels some type of way. Now she got to approach him with it because they weren't really ready. It's like if you knew him how you were supposed to know him, you would know his actions. He probably wouldn't even made it there if if he had something. But as far as I don't know, it's just people, and also with that, people are nosy. The relationship, the relationship goals that are out there aren't relationship goals. They just people who look good together and they're entertaining to watch.
Wow.
That's it. No, it's that's it. And you think that that's it. And so you'll take some toxic behavior and it's like, yes, this is how it's supposed to be. And it's not. Because look, to be truthfully be told, relationship goals are quiet. They're not worried about social media. If you just happen to catch them on social media, fine. But one person's worried about the other and vice versa. They're not worried about y'all on social media.
But that's the thing, though. Why is everything put on social media for human consumption? Some things
Because
should remain private in a relationship. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I'm not understanding why you break up with somebody and then go to their page. What? I don't listen. If I break up with you or we break up or it didn't work out, I'm not worried about what you doing, who you doing it with, how you doing it, when you did it, if you did it. I could care absolutely less. I don't care what you're doing. Who cares?
they do because they're emotionally invested. So they got to know like who's the one up. Like you messing up with me. We not together no more. We broke up, and now you talking to this person, or you talking to that person. Oh, were they here
No,
the whole time? I mean, I get
no.
it, but because once you're done, you should be done, unless you're not really done. Because a lot
And
of
that's
people,
right. You're not done.
you're
And
not
that's
done.
why people can't heal. You can never heal worrying about who your ex is with, what they doing, and like what
Man, you got cut
that's
them
like
ties
people ask me
early.
when they find out that I married my high school sweetheart. They be like, well, how did you get over him? I spent so much time with myself. I wasn't thinking about him. I had already spent enough time with him. I already done spent enough time with you. What I'm gonna be worried about what you doing for? I'm not worried about what you doing. I can care less. Cause you can't heal worrying about, they call it in narcissism, they call it the gray rock. It's when you gray rock the person. It
Gray
means you just
rock. Okay.
totally cut off all connection. You cut off complete total connection and you
No,
just
no
go
contact, no
gray.
nothing.
You
No,
go
again,
yeah.
as you should, because you should be focusing on
Yeah.
if it's over, like one.
Over.
Because what's over to some people isn't over to everybody. So the definition of over is you go live your life, I'm gonna go live mine. And that's
That's it.
and that's coming from we don't have any sets or anything like that. Really mainly the children. Because if you got children, it's never really over unless somebody die. But
Well,
different
no,
story.
if you have children, it is because you come together to focus on the well-being of the children. The
Yeah.
relationship between me and you is totally separate from the relationship that we have
Oh
with
no,
the
you're right. No,
children.
that's dad. It's you go from being whatever girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever to mom, dad, or whatever the situation is. Like that's co-parenting is not a thing. No, I from that aspect, yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, so social media shouldn't be a platform that you use to troll and look at. Man, please,
It
man.
is.
And
It
see,
is.
that's what I mean when I say you need to find the purpose for what something is intended for, so that you can use it that way. I was just telling the girl. Now we got three things. We got. Let me see. We have people come on social media and they talk about all these different things, right? Okay, and then 6 months later, the government changed the laws
Uh-huh.
and say, "Oh, you can't do that anymore." Okay, let's take credit. People coming on social media, TikTok, which is a spy app,
Mm.
and they giving you a list of letters that you can use to clear up your credit, right? The same book that I've been giving out free for years.
Mhm.
So now the government's like, oh wow, they've learned how to clean their credit up. They found the loophole because they always leave a loophole, you know, for them to slither through because that's
Mhm.
what snakes do. And so, oh, they found the loophole. So now they on TikTok, the spy app. TikTok is not a business app; it is a spy app. The man that created TikTok created the TikTok. He said for people that were not stable and something else derogatory. He said he didn't say nothing
Wow.
about he created it for business. Okay, it is not a business app. You don't need to go in there teaching no classes. So now they done changed the laws, right? It's other things that people have come on and talked about. There's a website where you could go and get books for free. You could download books for free.
Mhm.
People start now. I've been using it. I told you about it. Told my daughter about it because I would download textbooks. The textbooks are really expensive. I've been going on there for years downloading books for free. Come on TikTok. Everybody found out about it. They take it on TikTok. Guess what happened? They
Now
shut
I
the
gotta pay
site
for it.
down. They shut it down. Totally shut it down. Why? Because you're using different apps and platforms in ways that you should not be doing. If you're trying to get ahead, you see what I'm saying? That is not the way to do it. Okay?
No.
There's a way to go on there and get your message out without giving away the whole bathtub, the bathroom, the zinc, and everything else. And that's what social media is doing. It is
Uh-huh.
just you just laying everything bare.
Because a lot of people know they want. So the purpose of social media has clearly diverted from what it was supposed to be. Now it's who's the first to put it out there, the first to get it done. God forbid these crimes that are happening, people getting shot, stabbed. Again, we're quick to record to put on social media so we can be the first one with it up. So because we want the likes and the views, and eventually our page can blow up to something, rather than help the person that's actually in trouble, or
Right.
something of that nature. Um, it is unfortunately about that the likes, the views, like that's mainly what it's for. So again, when it comes down to relationships, you got somebody and y'all look good together. They are working towards being relationship goals, because that's the thing. And then unfortunately, God forbid, you guys break up, and it's like, well, what happened? And now this is because you can put everything out there publicly. You now have to deal with it publicly, which most people don't want to deal with. So it comes into a slander session.
But the thing is that you said the likes and views, but see that right there, the bottom line to that is low self esteem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're looking for the approval of people to validate you. That's what that is. Likes and views, because you're looking for acceptance. You have low self esteem, your confidence, and you placing yourself in competition with someone. And so, likes and views, okay, you liked it. That's cool. That's nice. You
Mm-hmm.
liked it. Okay. But suppose you didn't like it. Whenever I do anything,
Oh,
it doesn't matter what it is I say, do, what platform, and I have several platforms that I do things on. I don't do it for likes and views. I do it for
mm,
impact, because I know that I'm called to a certain sector of people. Those are the people I'm talking to. Those are the people that are my target. Those are the people that I'm trying to reach. They automatically are going to like it, because it's something that's going to create impact and make them think about whatever, or change their
mhm.
perspective. I cannot twist and turn myself like a pretzel, worrying about likes and views. Because if that was the
That's
case,
where
this
we
show would
are.
have been off the air. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, no, because for the likes and views, which you brought up a point where you're doing things for impact. People aren't ready for that type of criticism. I've seen on a number of cases where somebody would post a statement or whatever, not necessarily factual, someone's opinion. And someone would be in the comments would go against their opinion. And it's like, well, if you didn't like what I had to say, you could have just you could have just kept scrolling. And it's like, this is a public platform. Like, because I'm going against what you're saying, again, it's viewed as being hated or disliked, or whatever the case may be. It's like difference of opinion doesn't exist. Anything you put on social media has to be liked. And the dynamic really changed when they put the heart, the care, the angry, and all other stuff. Like, God forbid you actually like someone's stuff and not love it, then you're viewed as a hater.
Okay. And
No,
see, that's what
I'm
I'm
with you.
saying. The opinions of other people should not weigh so much. It should not weigh so much. It shouldn't be, so much. So it's like, I'm not understand. That's what I mean. Social media, it carries too much weight in your life. The opinions of other people, who cares about their opinions?
None,
Who cares?
none whatsoever. It's I don't know. It's too much. I don't know, to live by somebody else's word, somebody else's thought. That's it. I don't know. I don't think I care enough for all that. Like,
You don't, because social media basically it makes people a follower. I don't think people realize that it makes you a
yeah,
follower.
because you have to. Well, depending on which one you're on. If it's Instagram, you definitely got to follow some
Right.
people. But the crazy part
Go
about it is,
ahead,
if you
keep
look at
talking.
some of the,
I gotta go get my tea. Go ahead, keep talking.
no, it's fine. If you if you follow social media, as far as Instagram is concerned, like, you have to be a follower of someone. And if you look at some of these celebrities, the celebrities really don't follow nobody, but they have millions of followers. So it's like you're in tune into their life, and not necessarily, of course, what you got going on in yours, which I think is also the main thing when it comes down to social media and how it affects relationships. We based our relationships based off of what we see other people do, rather
Right.
than what we should be doing within our own relationship, within our own foundations. It's like building a relationship off toxicity versus what should be done and how conversations should be had or arguments should be had. You want to air people out on social media because that's the thing to do. It's really not. Like, it makes you look very weak and immature.
And not only that, when I was in college, when I first went to go get my associate's degree, I shared this before. I did a paper on, at the time it was called the World Wide Web, and people don't realize the World Wide Web and the internet are not the same. They're two different things. The
Mm.
internet is a connection of computers, servers, which is not going anywhere. The World
Right.
Wide Web is www is your address as to where your computer, your laptop, or whatever is where you live. And so when we look at what happened with the Patriot Act and how the government had to get a warrant before they could go and get information about you, they needed a warrant and all this process and bureaucracy that they had to go through. Well,
Mhm.
when the president was lying about weapons of mass destruction, it totally took away our privacy.
Mhm.
And so now the CIA, the FBI, the government, they don't have to they don't have to go through that bureaucracy when they want to find out anything about you. They just log on to your IP address. They just log on
Mhm.
because anything and everything that you put on social media becomes public domain.
Yep.
It no longer belongs to you. It is public domain. So public domain, that means it is free for anybody to use it unless you have your intellectual property trademark registered, copyrighted, and all of the above. Other than that, it's public domain. And
Mhm.
so when they want to know something about you, they just have to go, or when they want to just watch you, we're talking business marketing. They studied social engineer. This is a social engineering platform. And I made a decision that when I came on social media, I was going to do business, business, business. You don't need to know anything about my personal life unless I decide to tell you, but I'm not going to come on here and give you all the details and all the intel, about my life. You got to work for that. You have to work for that.
Mhm.
And it's like we're just giving away all of our biometrics. We're giving away our fingerprint. Oh, you got to unlock your phone with your fingerprint. No, I don't. No, I don't. Because there is nothing in my phone that important that you need my fingerprint because don't nobody else have my fingerprint but me. So we're
Yeah.
giving away our biometrics. We're giving away our iris. You know, Look into this, unlock that, press this, all hidden under convenience. And it is destroying the face to face relationships with our children. Children are now 3 and 4 years old. They have tablets and they don't know how to sit still unless they're on the tablet. Did you see on social media where the girl was on the plane and the mother took her phone? Oh my God. She had a
No, but I can
complete
only imagine.
she looked like she was about, I'll say about 13. She had a total meltdown, screaming and hollering, "Give me my phone!" Because
Oh
the
yeah.
phone releases that dopamine, and you get addicted to it. And nobody is really talking about it unless you watch
No.
some type of documentary or something. But it's
Okay, not, yeah.
destroying relationships. We don't know how to sit down and have a conversation. We have no conflict resolution skills. Everybody is angry, mad, have no patience. That all came out when everybody had to be quarantined. People couldn't sit still.
Losing their damn mind. I want to go outside. Like, I'm nope.
No, not even just that. Trying to teach your child how to do their homework for the first time in
Oh,
forever. Talking about I missed the teacher because you left the sole responsibility of the teaching of your child up to the teacher. No, no, no,
that
no,
starts at
no,
home.
no.
That starts at home.
That's at home. By the time you and your brother and your sister started kindergarten, you knew how to count. Well, your brother taught himself to count to 100. I taught him to count to 10, and he caught on to the pattern and taught himself how to count to 100. But y'all know you knew your shapes, your colors, not just circle and square. You knew hectagon, octagon, and all of those gons. And you knew your colors. You knew how to take colors. You know how to take red, yellow makes orange, and blue, and yellow makes green, and yellow. You know what I'm saying? You knew all of that by the time you got into kindergarten. Your school is for reinforcing what's already been taught at home. That's why we can't get upset about critical race theory. It's not their job to teach our children Black history.
Everything starts at home. Everything starts at home. Do your own research. Do your own.
You do your own research and pick up a book and read and teach your children their history. When you and your brother were 13, I gave y'all the Willie Lynch letter to read. At 13. Well, you probably was 11. Your brother was 13. You know what I mean? And so it's like it is our job to teach those things at home, not to rely on social media for everything. That's why they're able to control us. It blew me away to see the level of people being controlled when this vaccine thing came out. You were like, oh my God, we're in trouble. We are in trouble because they've studied us so much, especially the African American culture. We get studied for trends, what's hot, what's not. If we don't receive and accept it in our culture, it ain't gonna fly. And so, at what point the wake up doesn't just come because you have the information. The wake up comes when you get up and you take action and you do something about the information.
Right. People are ignoring the information because they feel as though they can't do anything with it, or it doesn't pertain to them. My favorite.
How does it pertain to you when social media has made you a follower? You're not even. We're in the time, and I've been saying this way before Beyonce came out with Renaissance. I've been talking about Renaissance for 2 years now. We are in a time of Renaissance. Renaissance is a time of not copying off of people, Beyonce, but it's a time to be inspired and to reimagine and to reinvent. So it's basically you're taking something and you're being inspired by it and you're making it better. And that's everything, whether it's cars, clothes, everything. Everything is being reimagined. When you're in a recession, basically that means to recede means to go backwards. And we're going backwards. We're going backwards, believe it or not, to a simpler time. So, okay, if they get rid of the money and they decide that they don't want to use the currency, then what's going to happen? What are we going to go back to? We're going to go back to the barter system.
You got to give something to get something.
So the recession also kicks off. The recession really is man-made because what happens is actually we're in a depression. We've been in a depression for a little minute now. We're in the beginning stages of a depression. So after the recession comes a depression, and then it comes the bounce back. So in other words, we have to hit rock bottom. That's what depression is. That means that first you go backwards, then you hit the bottom, and then from the bottom you can't go anywhere else but up.
Yeah.
So now you have to survive the going backwards and the reimagining of stores. Look at some stores that you grew up with that's no longer here.
Woolworth, Caldor, KB Toys. No, too far back. No, did anybody remember Woolworth?
No Caldors.
No. All right.
Anyway, you got
Boston still open?
Okay, Caldor.
I ain't been to Sizzler since '89.
Sizzler? Oh, that's a good one. Sizzler. I've heard of Sizzler. I don't know about no Caldo. What Caldo is? Hi, Lou. The recession is absolutely yes. That's why I love her. It's intelligent. I just love intelligence. Absolutely man-made. The man stood in front of the press conference and said the government was going to intentionally increase interest rate while preparing for a shrinking labor force. But there's a shift happening at the same time. So how do you survive a recession? You start your own business.
Yeah, you got to operate in your talents.
Yeah, you start your own business. Why? Because people be like, oh, this store closed. Bed Bath & Beyond is closing. And Sears is closing. And JCPenney is closing. Okay. Their time is up. It's time for new stores. It's time for you to start a store. You start a department store. We need to boycott Walmart and Amazon. Damn. How many times do I get on social media and tell people, stop coming on here doing drop shipping for Amazon? Why? Because you're supporting the economy of China. China is not our friend. Let me tell you when I learned about China in high school. Because in high school, you're going to your guidance counselor. You're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. What do you want to go to college to be this? Do I want to go to college to do that? And once upon a time, I wanted to get into importing and exporting. So I started researching and reading about importing and exporting and international, trade and all of that. What's all of that? What does all that mean? And one thing I found was all of the treaties and stuff that we had with China, they did not honor. They never honored any of the treaties that we had with them. They wanted us to buy everything from them, but they didn't want us to sell any of our stuff over in their country. And I just remember thinking, we should not be doing business with them. This is high school. I'm fully grown now. I never thought doing business with China was a good idea. And then we started giving them all of our intellectual property, our electronics, and everything, because we ain't going front. We have to give honor to who honor is due. They are very innovative. They're very innovative people. Yes, they are. But so are we. You know what I mean? And so now we're at a place where America doesn't make anything. Nothing.
Yeah, so a lot of the plants there got shut down.
Every time you buy something from China, you are supporting their economy and destroying your own. Houston, Texas, they have a black supermarket here that just opened, not even a year. We got to support that. We have to support Made in America. We have to support Black owned. That's how we're going to survive the recession. We got to open businesses. It's not that difficult. Now we got to get into the marketplace. We got to start creating things. We got to be the next Sears and the next JCPenney and the next Bed Bath & Beyond and the next whatever. Stop worrying about the stores closing. That's good they're closing. Because it's making room for you in the marketplace.
So you got to step into
it. But social media has us on there. Every time we learn something, we run to social media. And then they change the rules.
People don't know how to keep their mouth shut.
They do not know the purpose of a thing. They do not know what it's used for. Remember, that's the definition of abuse, abnormal use. You have to find out what is, because why? They see everybody, and it bothers me so much. It bothers me so much to see business owners and entrepreneurs on TikTok dancing, because don't you know that's what cooning is.
Not driving.
Yes. You won't hear cooning. No. You want to be taken serious. You don't see Warren Buffett on there dancing and all this, but you don't see Oprah dancing and backsliding, and you don't see them doing none of that. on social media because you in business you want people to take you seriously. It's not all just about making money. Okay, we have to interact a certain way. And we got people on here cooning. You got people in their 60s. I'm 65 years old, dropping it like it's hot and bringing it up real slow. You see what I'm saying? No. No, they drop it fast, but they bring it up real slow. You be like, how old is this woman?
You can't bring it up too quick. That's how you break stuff.
You should have never got down there in the first place. On here cooning. And then so we see you cooning, and then somebody else cooning. So that generation should be setting the example of how to dress, how to carry yourself. Like, come on, you on here with, tight body con, your back outside out. You might as well not just take the dress off because you showing so much skin. You might as well be naked. Come on. These are living impressions. What you laughing at, Tate? It's true. And this is the example that we're leaving. It is tearing up relationships. And it's tearing it up on multiple levels.
But yeah, because again, that's the influence is social media. So you're on there, you had your peers on there. So you want why am I blurred? Okay, there we go. Like you're on there, your peers are on there, and of course you want to impress your peers as far as what they're doing. So they literally go on and do what they're doing for acceptance.
I just said that it makes you a follow. She said, I think balance is necessary. People don't buy what you're selling, they buy what you're selling. The way you're selling it. Part of that requires relatability. Authenticity is a requirement for longevity in small business these days, as it should be. It's perfectly okay for people to let their head down on social media if that's what they want to do. If that's what they want to do, but I don't take those people seriously. I don't. I do not buy anything from them. I do not buy from people that use Cash App. I do not buy from people that have PayPal. I do not buy from people that have Zelle. Because people that's in real business, they don't use none of those. Don't use none of that. None of it. That's why they're having so much problems out of Zelle. They're having so much problems out of Cash App. They're having so many problems out of all those. Because a lot of people are getting scammed.
Well,
because
because that's the target.
People that's in legitimate business do not do. See, people think that's a workaround. Oh, I could use Cash App and the government's not going to find out. But Cash App still has to report to the government when you hit a certain amount of dollars. And because you're on social media bragging about how much money you're making on your PayPal, bragging about your Zelle and your Cash App, now the president has come on and said anything over $600, it has to be reported. Before it was what? How much was it? If you go in the bank, well, how much money? How much do they report?
Was it anything over like 10,000?
You had to deposit $9,000. You could deposit $9,000. Anything over $9,000 gets reported.
Okay.
Now, because now the target is the small business. Why? Because people are coming on and they're using Cash App, Zelle. When these are foreign companies, that's why you can't get a refund. That's why when you get scammed, you can't call anybody and say, hey, they raped my account. My account is now zero in Zelle because you connected Zelle to your account, your business account, and they don't totally went into your account, took all your money, and now who you gonna call to get your money back? Nobody.
Yeah, because even when you go to use Zelle, it basically tells you if you don't know this person, don't do it. But that's like the warning. I've definitely seen the stores on that.
Because those are not legitimate ways to do business. And when you're a business owner, okay, and you go, she said, if they go to people don't buy what you're selling, they buy why you're selling it. No, that's not why people buy. People buy because of the way you make them feel. Part of that requires relatability. Relatability is the reason you have a personal page. You're not going to see me cooning on my business page. That's why you have a personal page. When you want to let your hair down and be authentic, you go on your personal page, not your business page. And see, that's what the problem is. We want to be entrepreneurs, but we don't really know how. There's a difference between being an entrepreneur and knowing business, and we don't know business. So, as she said, so the way you make them feel is related to why you're selling the product. Usually, uh, mm, sometimes, sometimes, not really all the time. Sometimes the relatability is comedic. You just want to give comic relief. You just want them, like for an example, McDonald's. How do you feel about McDonald's? What is McDonald's in the business to do? They're not in the business to sell you a hamburger. They're in the business to make you feel happy. That's why the children have Happy Meals, and then they have. She said there's a really great TED talk on this one. It is. It's so many components to it. I'm not saying that you're wrong. We just make a different point. Um, you know what I mean? So people think that McDonald's is in the business to sell hamburgers, but they're not. They're in the business to make you feel happy. So if you come on social media and you're dancing, and are you holding up your product? Are you most of the time when I see people dancing, I don't see them selling nothing. They just be dropping it like it's hot. That's why you have to keep your personal page and your business page separate. Because relatability is subjective, or is it objective? You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So Dante, you want the TED talk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
So
back to something.
back to the subject at hand. We're regressing, but it's all a part of it.
It's all right,
How we use social media.
right?
How we use social media. How do we use, because that's what a relationship is, right? How you relate to people. And
And the
right now,
effects
people are not.
of
They're
how
not.
that works.
But they not relate to me. They're not relating very well, and people are not coping very well. Look at that man that just killed them 6 people at the Walmart in the break room. That's why I don't go in the break room.
That's not funny, but I wasn't ready for that.
I'm just not a break room person. I'm not one person that, like, well, if I worked at jobs, I don't hang in the break room. I go in there, use the microwave, and I'm coming out.
I don't use microwave. They'll clean that
So
back out.
yeah, it's all about relatability and culpability. People don't know how to cope because we're not fostering interpersonal relationships anymore. Everything is on social media. You can hide behind an alias, get on social media, talk to somebody like a whole dog, see them in person, and won't open your mouth and say a word.
Been there. Because I'm here, baby. No, they really won't say nothing to you.
Face type person, just like my book. I said, Lord, you know I love you, but somebody gonna give me my book, cause
They don't know that story.
and I'm not gonna tell it. But anyway, I'm gonna tell part of it. I ordered the book, and I was waiting for the book to come, and um, I just checked my email. The book was delivered 2 weeks ago, and I said, somebody, I'm gonna find my book. Somebody got my book now. They said they delivered it on the 14th. Today is the 26th. I went out to the mailbox and I said, okay, it could be, they could have mistakenly put it down at this one. They could have put it to the left, put it to the right, or they could have put it to the one that's pertaining to mine. I went over there. Guess what? I knocked on the door. I said, God, if I gotta crack somebody up in their jaw, I'm gonna get my book back. Went up in there, knocked on the door. I said, don't let them lie and say they ain't got the book, because somebody got my book around here, and I'm going to find my book. I knocked on the door. Well, I knocked on my neighbor's door because I was thinking that maybe they might have put it at the neighbor's mailbox. He ain't answered the door. Lucky for him. So then I went to the other place that I thought it could be. Knocked on the door. Dude come out all tatted up from head to toe. I don't care nothing about it because if my book is in there, it's gonna be a problem. Guess what? He had my book. He gave it to me, and I got my book back. After 2 weeks of not even knowing that they had delivered my book. So y'all know it was meant for me to have that book. Don't play when it comes to my books, man.
No, she don't.
My mail, period. Don't
Yeah,
mess
because
with
you're the
my
only
mail.
person I know who know the mail person personally. Like
I know the mail
all of them.
person. My postmaster, everybody has a postmaster. My postmaster, I get to know my postmaster, my mailman. And I hate when they change mailmans because we probably had a new mailman and they're going to put it in the wrong box. Wait till I see that person. Because I know what day you delivered it. I'm going to find out who worked on that day. Watch me. I'll be putting my stuff in the wrong thing because I also was waiting for a check from the IRS that never came. So you know I'm gonna take a visit down to the post office and be like, on November the 14th, who was working in my area? Because I remember, who laughing at me? Lou, why are you laughing, Lou? You're supposed to be on my side, girl. I remember Mr. Charlie when I was a little girl. Mr. Charlie used to come to my mom's house and be sitting up in there drinking all day long. Like, when is he going to deliver the mail? You've been here all day, Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie said, as long as this mail get delivered before midnight, before the next day, I got till midnight to deliver
You want
the
your mail or not?
You will not Mr. Charlie me. I will hunt you down. Yeah, yeah, Lou. Listen, I can't. Like, I just, you know how you have to just kind of hold yourself. Because if I would have let myself go, I would have like got real like upset about it. I remained cool. I said, I'm gonna go to the mailbox and see which one of these boxes that mailman could have mistakenly put my stuff in. I'm gonna go knock on their door. Don't come to the door with an attitude about my book, because it's gonna be a situation now. It's gonna be a whole situation. But God said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I got you. After 2 weeks, they delivered they delivered my book on the 14th. Today is the 27th. I got my book. So I said, why didn't you deliver my book to me when you got it? He gonna say, oh, I just got it yesterday. Stop lying. Because all them other papers that my book was mixed up in was brown. She said that was top tier detective work. I said, that's
No.
Thank you, Lou.
No.
Thank you, Lou.
She got some stories. She got some stories. Now that's I think that's a little minor, but you know, as you get to know her, I'm
Girl,
still
I don't
tripping off
play
that
when it
one in
comes to my
Hawaii.
book here. So I don't know. I want us to, like, you see how intelligent Miss Robinson come on here. She's intelligent. All of the people that come on here and give comments and stuff. Because why? You are creative, innovative, top tier people. And we don't need you to follow nobody. We need
Right.
you to come up with your own blueprint. We need you to open up the next J.C. Penney. We need you to open up the next Sears. We don't need you to get caught up in this social media, social engineering, behavioral, experimental. That's not even experimental. In marketing, they have to study you. That's what a comparative analysis is. They have to study you. They have to study other companies. They have to study trends and patterns, and all of that goes into marketing. If you're coming on social media and you're giving away the sauce, you done already lost before you got started.
Yep.
And as a culture of people, we can't afford to give away the sauce. Know why? Because they already stole the sauce. Remember, he got served. He got so upset because the dude stole his moves. And I was thinking to myself, you can't beat me with my own moves. You can't beat me with my own moves. I created those moves. Okay, guess what I'm gonna do? Make some more moves. I need us to understand that we need to have face-to-face relationships. We need to work on our interpersonal skills. We need to work on having those face-to-face hard conversations that we need to have. That's what we need to do. We need to come together in groups, not on Facebook. When I do stuff, I don't do it on Facebook. I don't do it on Instagram. I go to my address. Okay, I go to my house. When you go to TikTok and Facebook, you're supposed to drive traffic to your house. You're supposed to go there and bring awareness. Hey, I got this product. Do a little skit or something, little ditty maybe, little dance or something. Hey, come over here to www.skyc.com. You'll get the whole
W.
She said, unfortunately, the system is designed in a way that requires us to have some type of input of social, even if it's minimal, for success. But we give them too much information and leverage within our community. That's it. Yeah, that's right. We do have to have some input. Yes, we do. I agree. We're on the same page, but we give too much. Give too much. Now, when you go in a restaurant, they don't give you your entree first. They give you what? An appetizer. What is an appetizer in business? A commercial, an ad. You don't go to a restaurant and order your entree, you order appetizer. Sometimes you order appetizer and don't even order entree. And then your dessert, you giving them no. You're supposed to give them an appetizer. What does an appetizer do? What does those biscuits do besides fill you up? They still make you want to have. I'm gonna bring out my food. Where my food at? Bring my food out.
But they make it
you might not even eat all the food.
Well,
but you still biscuits. Want your entree.
Let me get that to go.
There you go. But you eat a little bit of it, then you take it home. But you don't start off with the entree. She said we give too much information and leverage within our community. We do. We need to come together and have those conversations. We need to go back. We're in a recession. We got to go back to the basics. We got to go back to the thing that works for us. We got to go back to sitting down to dinner with your family. And what did you do? When you sat down with your family, what did you do?
Talked.
Talk.
There was no phone. It was nothing. It was just pure. Want to talk? Okay, that's fine. But the floor
was open for
you to come in and say
what happened in school today? You know,
building those relationships.
That's what communion is. It's to break bread and to have communion, to talk. I remember my daughter. I have two daughters, an older daughter, a younger daughter, and my little daughter was like, "Oh, they was teasing me in school." Da, 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 da. Her sister went to school and was about to beat up the little girl. Why? Because we were sitting down, eating and talking. You know what I'm saying? We have to get back to the basics. We got to get back to the face-to-face. We got to get back to the way our ancestors built civilizations. What's on social media? It was mouth to ear. It was mouth to ear.
Yes, she no said, conversation off limits.
No phone. Yes. Yes, Lou.
Yes.
Yes. She's gonna raise some amazing children. Yes. Ask them how their day was. No phones, all conversations, no subjects off limits. They can stay in the safe zone and let them talk about what they need to talk about. Let them feel what they need to feel. See, me, I guess my presence for my children was so that I wasn't approachable. They didn't feel as though they could do that with me because I'm just so straightforward. So if they say, well, mom, so and so was bullying me in school or whatever, I'll be like, what you mean they was bullying you? We going up to the school. We going up to that school. What you mean? Somebody was bullying you.
This is very true. We're asking them all. It's like,
my mama is see, they thought I was crazy. They was partially right. And it's like, oh, my mama, I can't tell my mama nothing because she done went up to the school and smacked the teacher. Yeah.
I can't come the next day. She gonna come, later on, and it's like you look in the doorway, your mama's standing there. Which one is it?
See,
what you mean, which one is it?
But see, I grew. I had to grow.
Yeah.
I was growing. I've grown. Somewhat. But anyway, but we have to get back to that. Social media is not so social. It is tearing up our relationship on every level. She said, yes, our traditions and history is, yes, Lou. I just love Lou. We're going to give her a hug. Give you a hug, Lou. She said, we're communal people. This is why holidays are so important in our community. That's why our opportunity to gather and fellowship for hours with little to no obligations. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We are very communal. This is the strength of who we are. This is the strength of, this is the thing. This is how I learned. I learned from my grandmother. She's in the kitchen cooking. I'm in the kitchen washing the dishes and sweeping the floor and, helping and listening. And she's telling me stories of when she was a child. And she's telling me about my great grandmother. And she's telling me about the Indian in our family. And this is the reason our hair grows so long and our complexion. This is why our noses look the way it look. And, we are very communal. It is from mouth to ear, not all on blah, 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 all on social media for everybody to hear and to know. No, it doesn't work that way. And that's why we can't get anywhere because they keep changing the rules. They keep pulling the rug every time. Oh, now they talking about business credit. Business credit been around. I don't even teach business credit in my business. Do you know why? Because I want to help people build businesses debt-free. Does it take a little bit longer? Yes. It's a time to leverage. When you first start your business out, you don't need to leverage your business with no business credit. You ain't made enough revenue yet. That burns me up. You do not have enough revenue to be building no credit. Just having a business credit card or a personal credit card, you still got to pay the bill when it come in. You got to learn sales, marketing. You got to learn how to put together a message. You see what I'm saying? It's so many components that go into that. So at this point, you need to bootstrap. That's when you use social media, like she said, at a minimal and put your appetizers out there to make them want to come and get them entrees. I ain't the snack. I know y'all think y'all the snack. I know they call you a snack, but baby, I'm not no snack, okay? I'm the whole kitten. We have to understand and use things for the purpose in which it was intended. The person that was instrumental in making Facebook and these platforms, they don't even be on the platforms themselves. How many times you see Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook? I've seen him on here 3 times in the years I've been on here. So we got to get back to the face-to-face. Like she said, we got to get back to talking, to gathering, to fellowshipping. You know, we don't have to do that just around Thanksgiving, around the time when they massacre
No.
and trick people out of their land, and we celebrating that. Dante, close us out. I gotta go turn this water on. Close us out, Dante.
All right, I'll make this quick. I'll make it simple. My mama, I love her. I do. She's just so motherly. Social media in relationships, honestly, they don't mix well. Keep people out your business. Social media is a social site, but it's not really meant for the in depth things. Your relationships, family. I mean, yes, it's meant for family and building those types of relationships. But like my mom said, use it for what it's supposed to be used for, rather than it be a site for gossip and learning whatever everyone else is doing. When it comes down to your personal relationships, focus on that. Because when you don't, things get misconstrued, relationships get lost because you're trying to follow after something and or someone based off someone else's uh, criteria, if you will. So that being said, for those who want to put their relationship on social media, think twice. It's not the fact that you're trying to hide the person, more so trying to preserve. And I know this is going to be an argument for some people, but some people who put their relationship out there for other people to comment on, because that's basically what happens. The moment you put it out there, it becomes public domain for other people to weigh in and put their opinions on your life, your choice, what you want to do, and or how you want to do it. And I don't know about y'all, but me, I don't work that way. My private
Thank
life
you
is
guys
private.
for
If I,
coming. That was
oh,
great, Dante. I had to
all right.
go and turn. I had to go turn that off real quick. Sorry, you guys. But listen to what we said and think about, how we're gonna move forward as a culture. We'll see you
Mhm.
guys next Sunday. And